Alright, this is the hover shot build, aka the boss killing build, aka your sniper build, aka I want to do a lot of damage to those weak points build. This is the build I have come up with to be able to kill any elite or boss as long as you have the skill with relative ease. If you have potato aim like me, there I put options in here to also lessen the skill gap some. But as you can see, this is kind of the fashion I decided to go with for this build. It's more of a ghost build. Kind of did after like a special operations or something you'd see in the jungle kind of build. You know, I would go for that classic kind of build look for it. So you see a little bit of dirt and everything. Nice little touches there. Anyways, let's get into the heart of this build. Alright, now for what kind of encompasses the build, makes this build remotely possible and what's all based around the guns. So even though this is a sniper build at its core, an elite killer build, you can technically run two other guns other than a sniper. So the first one you could potentially run if you're kind of like me and aren't too confident in your sniping. You know, you have a little bit of potato aim, just a little bit. Avenging Herald is another backup weapon. You could bring this on your primary or secondary. The reason being is this one also uses hover, increases your weapon damage by 200% while you have this weapon equipped. If you do not have this equipped, you will not get that passive. But this does allow you to do a lot of damage, and it has very forgiving 9 shots. You also can miss one of those shots and still do a decent amount of damage. If you didn't want to go for quite an elite killing build, want to go for more of a general build, Avenging Herald's kind of going to do that for you. It's going to allow you to take on more of the mobs and everything. So it's more of a generalized gun. But this is what I recommend as a backup. Now for the second weapon you can use in this build, it's Death from Above. Death from Above kind of does the same thing as what the sniper that we'll use in this build can do. While hovering, you get increased weak point down to 65%, which potentially is going to have the highest DPS out of all three. Mine says fall off, which Avenging Herald also had a high amount of fall off, so you have to be kind of close for that. This one's more of a mid-range option. Problem is it has a lot of kick up, like kickback. So, and it's a 3 burst shot, so more than likely you're only going to land 1 to 2 shots maximum in the head, or wherever the weak point is. And that just reduces damage by way too much to be viable. It's one of those things that if you get god tier roll, get minus recoil, maybe, or if you just are really confident with it, use it. This is out of the three, the one that I recommend the least, but it's viable. Okay, now time for the granddaddy gun of this whole build. Granddaddy of all of them. This is, if you want the elite, legendary, whatever killing build, this is it. The boss killing build relies on this. The skill you have to have required to do this, though, is a lot higher than other guns. But its damage is insane. 40% additional weak point damage while hovering. That is what this build relies on. That on top of the fact that this gun already does 3.25 times damage for whenever you hit a weak point. That's its crit base multiplier. It's insane. Now, I did a little bit of math, and by the way, if you can get the legendary of this weapon versus the masterwork, it's about a 7,000, a little bit under 7,000 damage difference just for crit alone while hovering. And that will get amplified greatly if you get bonus damage on anything. That's just the base. I'll put the math up on the screen in this video. It is insane. But yeah, if you can land the shots, this is the build. You go this gun, nothing else. Alright, and now time for your secondary weapon. Technically, your secondary weapon, any of the 3 primary weapons that you're not using could fill this role. If you want a backup weapon, it's up to you. Personally though, I recommend this one. Close encounter, while you do a dash, and you can do this in midair too, and you have this weapon equipped, you get 75% additional damage for 10 seconds. So that's probably going to be enough time to unload at least half your clip, maybe your whole clip. into whatever target, and that's 75% damage. Oh baby. Add that with all the bonus damages you're gonna get from the components. Oh my, that is some juicy damage. This is one of the reasons why you need this for the elite killing build. I say elite just because I mean like tough units. Technically, like I said, boss, legendary, what have you. Any of these things work. Alright, now we have the abilities of this build. So, with the sniping, unfortunately in this game, you can't hit critical points through shields, so you need a shield breaker. And the ranger just happens to have the best shield breaker in the game, called Avenger's Boon. Now this will probably one or two shot pretty much any shield GM2 or lower. Guaranteed. This is, and it's on an incredibly low cooldown. The only downside is it has to get charged up, which kind of can ruin flow, but since you're a sniper, you don't really care. But the best thing about this, and the reason why it works so well with the sniper, is the fact that you can lob this thing literally across the map. This one doesn't have a huge drop down, and it goes pretty fast, so you can just kind of aim this and lob it down anywhere you need to go. This is the required ability, I feel like, for this build. And for the second ability, my recommendation, and the one I'm going to be using, will be Grand Opening. The reason being is you only have to hit your opponents now with this to increase your weapon damage for 60% for a total of 20 seconds. That's insane. Especially if you have one like I do where it has double charges, you're basically going to continuously have this thing up. Like, no matter what, you'll just have continuous buff as long as you're just thinking to use it. This is just raw damage. The grenades honestly aren't going to do anything. Grenades, garbage. Passive of the grenades, amazing, just almost god tier. If it was for 100%, it would be god tier. But yeah, you're going to want that. You could technically take another one, but this is just works the best, since you're not relying on ability damage for this build at all. Alright, now time for the guts of the build, which truly make this build work in its all entirety. This is the heart and core of the build. So, first off for our components, we have Airborne Advantage. It works with the hover part of the build because you get 25% increased resistance while hovering, which means you're going to take less damage, you're going to be able to stay up in the air longer without getting shot down, which I'm sure as everyone knows who's played this game. If you see Scar Hunter, that thing's going to shoot you out of the air, no matter what. But the big thing about this is because this build does not use any kind of blast damage, you don't care about getting subtractive blast damage. Increased impact damage, though, is where it's at, because that's going to increase the sniper damage. That is the big part. 50% means that your single target shots are going to do so much more damage. So for our second one, we'll be using Elemental Ops. This one is the one that I would say can be swapped out. If you're going to swap out any, probably this one, because all it really does is increase your heat capacity by 50%, which is a lot. And then you also get Acid applied to target on 5 hit streaks, but if you're confident you're going to hit it 5 shots in a row, do it. If not, swap it out for whatever you want to do. This is the only one in the build I will 100% recommend could be changed out. But if you can land 5 shots in a row, and you're going for the complete elite build to kill, like this is supposed to be, take this. Because Acid will make you do a lot more damage to a target. For our third one, though, we're going to do Tactical Advantage. This is probably the most important one of the build. Not only does it increase how long you can stay in there by 50%, also hitting a weak point will decrease how quickly you build up your bar, your thrust up bar. If you guys don't know what that is, that's the little thing that appears on your screen when you're flying or hovering. Or reduce that by 80%, meaning you're going to stay in the air for a very long time. You're going to start feeling like a storm there instead of a ranger with how long you're staying up in the air. Pretty OP. And of course, the next one's just your sniper component. At the time of this video, they don't have Masterwork Sniper Universal components. Once they do add that, Masterwork and Legendary definitely can replace this. But all this does is really increase your sniper damage. You know, bigger, more percentage of damage equals bigger numbers, which you want to see those nice, juicy, large crits whenever you're landing those weak point shots. I was going to say headshots, but you know, Scarred Enforcer's weak points on their back, so you're technically going for kind of an ass shot, you know, butt shot. Yeah. Alright, this one is almost as important as Tactical Advantage. It increases all weapon damage by 25%. Pretty much says all it needs to be said. It's just more damage. Once again, bigger numbers, more damage. You're not going to go denying that, especially since if you can keep at, if you want to get to low health, you're going to do more damage. It's going to go to 85% additional damage instead of just 25. So, and then we have Thermal Cooling, which is kind of one of those ones that you could change out, but I don't recommend it because not only does it increase how long you can stay in the air with another 50% basic capacity, it also reduces the time that you're overheated. So you can get overheated, you know, Scar Enforcer or someone who uses fire hits you, or can get overheated really quickly. It's allowed to where you can get back up there really quickly. Because once again, this is a hover shot build. You want to stay in there as much as possible and for as long as possible. This will allow that to happen. The only downside to this one is it does decrease your armor and shields. Not the biggest thing, since sniper builds you don't really even want to get hit. But it's one downside that's kind of always happens on these builds. Because if you compare the armor and shield reinforcements to the Ranger's specific one, you can see there's just a massive difference. No, around 1800. But yeah, that is the core components of the hover shot, or as I like to call it, my ghost build. The one and only hover sniper build. So the playstyle for this build is pretty simple. It's just stay in there and land headshots or weak point shots. As you can see there, you just want to use your shield break, get rid of the shield, they have one, because you can't have the weak points. This also kind of emphasizes how weak this gun is, because you can see most of the time not landing all three head or weak point shots. Also, you want to throw out your grenade as much as possible, try and get that bonus damage, and every once in a while pull out your pistol and do a quick dash with it, get most of the damage that you can. Here is the Avenging Herald. As you can see, it just does a lot of consistent damage. Pretty much that's it. Gives a lot of leeway. And then here's the Big Daddy. You see it one-shots most minions. Here's it fighting a legendary. It does pretty good chunk damage to it. Just gotta land the shots, almost 100k each, and I'm not even using optimized inscriptions. Inscriptions can make it insane damage. But yeah, that's the general playstyle.
Good. Scars it down, Alita.
Alright everyone, that is it for that build. That's the complete hover shot build, aka the ghost build, aka the sniper build you never thought was possible. If you enjoyed the video and liked the build, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And also I'd like to give one final thanks / shout out to the people who watched my stream over on twitch.tv, who helped me kind of hammer out some of the bumps in this build, the flaws in it, some of the bigger ones, and finalize the build. Alright, well, that's it for this video. Later, y'all.